Fear the Reaper. Ungulate carcasses may generate an ephemeral landscape of fear for rodents. Dang, that's a spooky-ass assemblage of words, isn't it? Let's really quickly break down what some of those terms mean before we get into it. Ungulate is a fancy term for hoofed mammal. Ephemeral means temporary, and landscape of fear is an actual ecological term for the spatial measure of the psychological and behavioral impact of living among predators. It's a concept that I believe every woman watching who hikes, runs, walks, or exists does not need explained further, but I hope that you indulge me anyway. The ecology of fear got a lot of attention when wolves were reintroduced to the greater Yellowstone ecosystem to explain that they don't actually have to kill elk to have an impact on landscapes. Just the threat of there being wolves made it so that grazing ungulates wouldn't spend as much time eating stream vegetation as they would if they felt safer. I also chatted about this in the similarly evocative Phantom Road of Idaho study. There we learned that when confronted with the steady noise of a road, birds couldn't forage effectively because they had to constantly scan the area for predators rather than passively listening while getting their snack on. This led to lower body weight going into the winter and subsequently lower survival. Now, the Fear the Reaper study was about one of those events, once-in-a-lifetime ecological things. In 2016, a single lightning event killed over 300 wild tundra reindeer in Norway. Hey, joke writer, let's get some Santa stuff, thanks. These created a 240 by 100 meter spread of carcasses which drew in a swarm of scavengers, corvids, golden eagles, red and arctic foxes, and wolverines. Researchers studied the area for 2 years, doing the thing every field biologist has done at least once, counting poo. What they found is that for the first year, common ravens and hooded crows were in their highest numbers. Conversely, rodent feces disappeared from the landscape. By year 2, when the birds had left and the mammal mesopredators remained, the rodents returned. I encourage you to look up the study, which is publicly available, to look into the discussion because there's too many takeaways to take here. But the overall one is that when mass mortality events occur, they can fundamentally change an ecosystem. Santa's sleigh may have been a little sluggish in 2017, but the wolverines had a fine Christmas.